Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to another episode of NFL stuff, whatever you want to call it. This is, as I've said in multiple of these videos, this is just kind of generic. This isn't an NFL one-on-one. This isn't a sports talk where I'm talking about other sports. I'm just talking football. Um, Me or Nathan are talking football and our reactions to things, what we're thinking. Um, Hold on. I'm gonna got a social media thing that dinged here, so I'm gonna do that real quick. All right. Sorry, I had a notification that I had to deal with real quick. But yeah. So this is just a generic NFL. Nathan and Zach talking about football real quick. Anyway, so Monday, as I'm sure most people who follow football know, was the new league year for the NFL, which means certain trades that weren't possible are possible now because the football team can just how football teams can do contracts and stuff like that. They don't have their dead cap hits are not as significant as they would be if they had done it pre June 1st. Um, so um, that's but anyway, so that's just kind of what happened was happening on Monday, or what the date why the date was important on Monday. Um, there were two big trades that happened on Monday. One of them everyone kind of saw coming because it's been reported for months now, so everyone kind of saw that one coming. The other one, I don't think anybody saw coming. Um, I kind of saw it coming, um, and the reason I say I kind of saw it coming is I thought it was more likely than not that it would happen, um, but I just didn't expect the trade partner, I should say. So let's talk about that. So Monday, we get the report that not Kenneth Walker, the Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker earlier, but we get the report that the Los Angeles Rams traded Jared Verse and some picks. So they traded a player and some picks for Myles Garrett, the current reigning defensive player of the year, the current holder of the NFL sack record, a multiple time All Pro, a multiple time Pro Bowler. This dude is, without a doubt, one of the best defensive ends, one of the best defensive linemen to play the game. And the Rams traded for him. So, this is sort of my reaction to that. So, first of all, was I surprised that it happened? Not really. The more I thought about it, the more I've slept on it, the more I've just kind of sat on this the past couple days. Um, the less surprising it is to me that the Browns traded Myles Garrett simply because last year he requested for a trade, and I thought it was going to happen eventually, the whether Myles Garrett reiterated his trade request, re-upped it, or at some point the Browns were just like, "Hey, Myles, we're just gonna trade you. It's good for you because we're not going anywhere, and it's good for us because we're gonna get some draft capital out of you while we still can." Um, so the trade itself was surprising. Um, the trade to the Rams. I'm not surprised that the Rams made a trade um, for a good player. I'm just kind of surprised that I thought they were out of the out of this more let's mortgage our future for our present. But that is where they're at. Um, Yep. Because, yep. So that's sort of my reactions to it. How good was this? Like I said, it's good for the Brown. It's good for both ends. I think. I don't think there's a winner and a loser. I don't. I don't think there's that we can need to use that kind of language. I think both teams walked away with what they wanted out of the trade. Um, Obviously, the Rams defense just got a whole lot scarier because, um, you know, earlier in the offseason they traded for Trent McDuffie, gave him a big contract. Now they're trading for a premier pass rusher, and the Browns already gave him a big contract, so I'm assuming the Rams will take that over at some point. But it's good for the Rams that they're getting their defense built up, and this is a win now move for the Rams. This is definitely the win now move a lot of us were expecting. It's because honestly, Matt Stafford, he's an older quarterback. This is I'm not gonna record a video about the Ty Simpson pick, but this is what I'll say about it. Matthew Stafford is getting older. He was extended for he now has a 2-year contract essentially with the Rams. So he will play at least the next 2 years, but I assume at some point and then within the next 3 or 4 years, Matthew Stafford will retire, and a lot of people are assuming that he will retire at the end of this 2-year contract. And I'm someone who's on that train as well. I think Matthew Stafford will retire. I think now it's the end of the 2027-2028 season. I think that'll happen, but this is the Rams doing something that says, "Hey, we have a quarterback that can win us a Super Bowl. Let's hit somebody that will help us win while we have that quarterback." And they picked a quarterback and said, "Hey, over the next 2 years, you are going to learn from this quarterback. Excuse me. Try and emulate." Excuse me again. I just got back from a late lunch, but they are saying, "Hey, we will train you up and emulate a Mahomes-like path for you over the next 2 years." So the Rams are in an extremely good position right now. Their defense looks very scary, and I don't know that a lot of teams will be hard pressed to win against the Rams. Not saying the Rams will go perfect 17-0, but every game the Rams play in will be a battle because their offense is good with 2 really good receivers and a really good quarterback and a bunch of other skill position players that are really good. Their defense has now gotten a whole lot better with a generational pass rusher and a really good corner in McDuffie. As far as the Browns are concerned, listen, this is a good trade. They get Myles Garrett's. Like I said earlier, they signed Myles Garrett to a really big contract last offseason, so they get that off their books. They get that big contract off their books onto the Rams. They get a younger player in Jared Verse that's also very good, that has the potential to be someone like Myles Garrett or like some of these other great pass rushers that we see, if not exactly like them. As far as the picks go, and this is where I'll get into a little bit of the criticism with the Browns. I do not trust the Browns as an organization, simply because they have been, over their most of their existence, the Cleveland Browns, or at least since 1999 when they came back into the league, the Cleveland Browns have been in the top 10. As in terms of draft order, they've been in the top 10 several times. Heck, a few years ago when they drafted Myles Garrett back in 2017, that was their first of their number one overall picks that they had. So, I mean, at some point, you in picking the of in picking and having your pick of the top 5 or 10 players in the draft, at some point you have to have a good. It has to just you have to have a better team than what the Browns are fielding. It doesn't make sense why they are constantly losing. But yeah, so it's a bit of a surprising trade, but a good trade nonetheless for both teams. We'll see how it all pans out for the Rams and the Browns in the future. With that, I'm gonna see you guys later. I have some other videos to record and some other things to do. See you later.